Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Yes, guys, we've made it halfway through the year. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I'm really proud of each and every one of you. I know, it's June.
Whoa.
We've made it to June. We've made it to nearly the end of June, actually.
That's why we're doing it.
That's what the point of these podcasts, these episodes are, aren't there? I'm just going to give a quick apology quickly. My mind is a little bit frazzled. So I do not know if I'm coming or going. Last night, I had a pretty epic night. I went to see Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour in Wembley Stadium.
But more importantly than that, Dave, you were in the same room as Tom Cruise.
Same big room as Tom Cruise. I woke up this morning.
And by room, we mean stadium.
And he was in VIP area and Dave was in the heavens with the gods. It was incredible. I don't know if you've watched the movie on Disney Plus, The Eras Taylor Swift.
Of course I haven't. Come on.
I didn't think Rich was a fan at all.
I know like 2 songs, it turns out.
Which ones are they?
The ones that are in Sing.
And Sing too. We got tickets just literally in the middle of the week. We got obstructive view to seats.
Right.
To be honest, they weren't that obstructed.
Oh, right.
Really. I could see pretty much, all of the runway, the stage.
Was Taylor Swift a dot to you, though?
A bit of a dot, but
yeah.
Her fans, I have never experienced anything like it, ever. And I've been to quite a few big concerts and massive names and stuff, but these people sing her songs like their life depends on it. I mean, they feel and mean every word, and they know every single word to every single song. I've never been in a stadium like it. It was something else. It really was. And the show she puts on is incredible, but I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is insane. So I had a pretty special day. Didn't get home until quite late, obviously, because, trains.
Yeah.
Good old trains, and getting out of Wembley is a bit of a nightmare.
Even though we're really not that far from Wembley, still a nightmare.
Still a nightmare. Because there was like 90,000 people in there. She's doing 3 nights while we're talking at the end of June, and then she's doing 5 more nights in August of sold out run. Okay.
But you can highly recommend it.
If you can get a ticket, if you have a ticket, it will blow your mind. Honestly. I like Taylor Swift. My wife's a massive fan. She knows all the albums pretty much. I know a lot of the big songs. I've done a lot of hard homework over this week. My favourite song is Don't Blame Me, if anyone wants to know. And it was something else. Something I've never experienced, like a concert like it. It's going to stay with me for a while. And it was amazing. I can see the hype. I can believe the hype now about her. It is like a cult, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
They were off, like, this crowd from minute 1. Like, standing, screaming, shouting, singing. It was something else. Anyway, that's literally been my June, has been the end this last week of June. Because the rest of it, and I don't want to give a spoiler to the rest of the episode, I've been editing podcasts. Because we now are in season 6, and we're doing those episodes, sequel session episodes, extra Friday episodes, and 2 Another Slice episodes a month. So my time is limited at the moment when it comes to watching stuff. But here we go. Hopefully Rich has watched some good things. Have you?
No.
Teaser?
No,
Great.
I've barely watched anything in June. Sorry.
It's hot. We've got
lots
hay
going
fever.
on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chaosy time. Do you want to hear some questions and some emails and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just going to read them out. They're going to be a little bit random, but here we go. So this is from Paul. It says, "Hi chaps, it's 5:30." He's listened to our episode at 5:30 in the morning, which is incredible, by the way. It's 5:30 on Friday the 14th of June. I've started my day by listening to your podcast. What a great way to start the day. This is about Bad Boys.
Okay.
I always love this sentence. I'm very much in the Dave camp when it comes to this movie.
So many people are.
I loved it from the moment one. The opening sequence in the store still has me laughing, even though I had seen it in the trailer umpteen times. Miami looks great. I think Will Smith looks great and in fine shape for a man in his 50s. Totally agree that the chemistry between him and Martin Lawrence is spot on. This is all what I said. The rest of the cast played their part, although I agree it was clear who the bad guy was from the moment he appeared on screen. Mm-hmm. That said, I loved every moment. A great way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Finally, like Dave, if the next one is as much fun as this one, then count me in.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's all valid. And we did say, like, it's going to be, most people are going to agree with you rather than me, I think, on that one.
Yeah. This is very much a Dave type movie, popcorny, bang bang. I think it's great. Pod action hero Jamie, this one had me laughing. I totally get why you wouldn't enjoy this. Hell, I didn't expect to. The first movie is well made, but really mean spirited. But these last two have been super fun. There's a lot of escapist popcorn nonsense, but these have comedy and heart too.
Cool. Again, sounds like he's in your camp, but kind of understands where mine is coming from. Always nice.
Always nice to have an open heart and an open head. Alfie, just watch the trailer. Is it me, or does Martin Lawrence continuously look like he's walking into a glass partition wall?
Yes, he does. I get that, yeah.
I absolutely disagree. I think Martin Lawrence is the VIP of that movie, and I stand by it. Okay, we're going to talk about Furiosa quickly, because obviously we did our first Unequal prequel review.
Yeah, you didn't ask me to recall all the things we talked about this month.
This is what I'm saying. We'll do that in a minute, okay?
Well, no, we'd still be no point doing it in a minute because you'd have read out all the comments about them. So
it's fine. I really enjoyed the movie. Really should be watched in the cinema. Oh, this is by Alex, by the way. This is from Alex. I really enjoyed the movie. Really should be watched in the cinema. Spoiler onwards. I would have preferred the end of this movie to be about 2 years before Fury Road, rather than the end beginning of Fury Road. Even if it was to give Furiosa more adventures on Fury Road, we don't have to see them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to read this one out. Jamie from Pod Action Hero said again, because it's another line I love. I'm more on a Dave's wavelength than Rich's. Really enjoyed the movie, but Fury Road was lightning in a bottle. George Miller has his own formula in this universe, and Furiosa was the first one that felt like he was playing by someone else's rules. Some CG was a little Attack of the Clones or even Speed Racer. Otherwise, it's technically very accomplished. I guess I say this is the best version of a movie that didn't need to exist.
I didn't get that at all. I thought the CG was decent, and yeah, I felt it felt very George Miller-y to me. But each their own.
I'm listening to the audiobook about the making of Fury Road at the moment. I can't remember the name of it. It's brilliant, and how that film got made, by the way, is insane, and how long that took to get made.
A long time to get made, didn't it?
Decades, and the people that came and went, and the movies like. Yeah, they're meant to make it way before, like even Babe and Babe 2 and Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2. I think Furiosa is going to stand. I think more people watch it, people will like it. We'll talk about box office in a minute because I promised to talk to Rich about that, about Bad Boys, and see how that's going.
Didn't we?
Yes. And I think more people will see Furiosa, the more they'll like it. It's a shame it's not going to get anywhere close to probably a profit.
No. So, very few movies are these days, aren't they? So
we don't know what's going to happen to the future of the Mad Max saga, as they're calling it now. Fingers crossed. Anyway, Esteban has got a question for us. Happy third anniversary, chaps. It can only get easier. Thank you for all the comments, by the way, to everyone that congratulates us on reaching the 3-year mark. We appreciate that. We can't believe it's been 3 years. And thank you so much.
In dog years, we'd be in our 30s now.
Sometimes it feels like it. Like when we're recording on a Sunday morning when I haven't had much sleep. But here we go. Anyway, Mr. Lucky struck again after Father's Day fell on my birthday. So after a massive hissy fit, I took full advantage and took the 3 princesses of my world to club together and get me a multi-regional Blu-ray player. And the new release of The Abyss from the States, as Cameron won't release it without the rat-breathing fluid scene, which the BBFC are insisting is removed from the UK. This is true.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a copy when I go to Canada.
Fair enough. Have you got a multi-region player to play it on?
The PlayStation 5 4K player is multi-regional, I believe.
Ah.
So it's for all 4K films are multi-regional.
Nice.
I believe. Therefore, not being released here at all. It did not disappoint. Stunning is not doing it justice. I was also given the latest upgrade Aliens release, and again, an incredible visual spectacle, except now you can really tell which scenes had rear projection and which ones they used miniatures. Seriously looks like an episode of Thunderbirds. Are there any movies you'd like to see enhanced but are afraid they lose some of their magic? God bless you chaps for all your hard work, loving the new interviews and the bonus stuff. As a slicer, thank you for being that. It always makes the week easier. All the best. Nice. First of all, thank you for subscribing, Esteban. We always appreciate that. And two, this is because James Cameron has recently released Aliens, Abyss, and True Lies, all on 4K release.
Oh,
and they've used this like AI technology,
right? And
some people are really split of how it looks and how it doesn't look. It cleans everything up. Now, some films you probably want it to be cleaned up, and some films you don't. Aliens, I'm a bit worried because I think the Blu-ray transfer is quite good on Disney Plus, the 4K, but what do I know? I'm not an expert on this kind of thing. So any films that you would like to see cleaned up and put on a higher grade than...
That's a really tough one, because I sort of feel like movies need to look their age. I'm not sure I like any of this cleaning up kind of stuff and remastering and digitizing and all this kind of stuff. So I can't, there's nothing that springs to mind where I thought, oh, that could really do with a touch up, you know? Because I like movies that look like their age.
We could talk about Star Wars and about what, they've been doing that for years.
There's been so much of that with Star Wars already.
Yeah,
every time it happens, it detracts, I think.
It's like Trigger's broom from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
When he says he's got the same broom for 29 years, but he's replaced the handle and the bottom of the broom and stuff like that. I'm always a little bit worried about transfers. And then you hear good reports and bad reports. I remember a few years ago, I think they released a version, I can't remember if it was HD or 4K version of Heat. And apparently it's just a lazy upgrade from a DVD master or something like that. And that's always a worry. But when people are putting a lot of hard work into it, and really going it, then it might be worth, like the Peter Jackson, I know it's off topic, but his war film he did a lot a few years ago. I can't remember the name of it now, but he cleaned up all loads of war material, old footage.
I can sort of understand doing it over like archive documentary footage rather than a movie. I just want to go back. I love that you talked about Trigger's broom rather than like the ship of Theseus, which is like the Greek myth.
I don't know that. I know Trigger's broom.
It's the same principle, basically. So maybe archive footage, I can understand that. Peter Jackson going back and doing like all the Beatles documentary and stuff. With that enhanced, I can see the benefit of that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if you went back and cleaned up Seven Samurai, for example, would it make it a better film? I don't think it would.
What about The Howling 2 or something that hasn't got any kind of release?
The Howling 2. Again, I don't think that's going to make it any better.
No.
I don't think it's going to improve it any. I wish I could think of something, but I genuinely can't think of anything that I would want kind of cleaned up.
I've got a 4K version of Jaws, and they've done quite a good journey. It depends what the original version looks like.
Well, that's the whole point, right? Is that the original version is the original version. You've just got to... I just think you should keep that. But
that's half the fun of, say, Flash Gordon or something like that. And even when obviously there's the re-releases of the Lord of the Rings, when they release them all 4K, and you can see some bits now from the transfer, the miniatures and the bigatures and stuff like that.
I don't want to see that.
But I think that's quite half the fun.
Yeah. I don't even own Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray. I still have my DVDs.
I think it depends what TV you're watching it on as well.
Yeah, true.
All of this makes a difference to me. What setup you have at home. Like recently our internet went down So we did dive into the physical media. I think I said this in the last episode.
Yeah.
And I rewatched True Lies on DVD, and that was fine. I didn't feel like I need to clean up Jamie Lee's face or Schwarzenegger's or whatever.
Do you know what? As one cleanup that I really like is the 86 Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
So the 4K cleanup on that is very good.
But isn't animation slightly different?
I think animation is different, and I think that's why it's good. I did remember. I just remember putting it on because also I've owned that movie in various formats throughout the years. I think I've got it on DVD like 4 times. So I put it on, and I was like, "Oh, this is very clear. It's very crystal clear." But it also, the downside of that is you do see some of the animation flaws a bit more. But yeah, I think that's probably the best example of a cleanup I can think of.
I remember watching one of the first HD films. I remember around our friend Matt's house, and he had a HD TV, an incredible one. And Indiana Jones was on BBC, and it was the HD version, and the fire was so clear. I was like, look at the fire. It was amazing.
I had an HD DVD player, not Blu-ray.
You were one of those people, were you?
Because it was my Xbox. The Xbox had HD DVD, and the
right.
PlayStation had Blu-ray. And so I had a few HD DVDs, and I swear they were better quality than Blu-rays. But
there is a rumour that is true. But did the PlayStation sell more consoles?
Yeah, I think it's just Blu-ray just sold more. I think, only people that had an Xbox bought HD DVDs by the sounds of it.
It's a fascinating time, that whole Blu-ray versus HD DVD. Matt Hyman also bought a HD DVD player. He was in charge of the... he moved in with his girlfriend at the time and mother-in-law. And he told them what to buy. And he was like, HD DVD's definitely going to win. Definitely going to win. It did not.
It did not.
But I remember putting DVDs on the first time and just being blown away by that kind of thing from VHS.
True. Yeah.
I don't miss the crackle or the hiss of a VHS. No. I tell you what I'd rather have cleaned up more than the picture sometimes is the sound.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. A really good sound mix can really help.
Yes.
Especially if you've got a decent sound bar, then, that really kind of... Yeah, that can really make a real difference. Oomph. Yeah.
When you realise the whole house is shaking.
When you can really tell the difference between the dialogue and the sound effects. They don't meld into one, which they can do with kind of bad sound.
Yes. I don't think we've really answered the question.
Sorry,
maybe Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes, have they released that on 4K yet? Would you like to see that cleaned up?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think we'll know until we watch it.
Sort of, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm really sorry. I can't answer this question.
Basically, Rich will say no. He'd rather watch.
No, I'd rather watch.
As long as they keep it the same and make it a little bit, maybe clearer? I don't know.
The thing, I sit in this camp. When CDs came out, someone said to John Peel, who's a famous DJ, that CDs are better than vinyl because it doesn't have all that background noise. And he said, listen, mate, life has background noise. And I'm with him. Life is imperfect. I don't need everything polished.
That's quite poetic. Very nice. So, sorry, Esteban. We're not going to answer your question because...
we can't think of anything.
We can't think of anything off the top of our heads, apart from Planet of the Apes. No, I know what you mean. Some transfers are good and some transfers are bad. And I'm not... Until I watch that AI Cameron one, then I'll let you know. But I am looking forward to watching The Abyss. I know it's not available in this country, but you can order it from Amazon France or stuff like that if you want to get your hands on it and see what it looks like. But James Cameron, he for a while, he didn't release any of his films on even Blu-ray or whatever on HD. That's why there was a big deal for releasing True Lies on 4K because you could only get it on DVD. They didn't release it on HD Blu-ray. So here we go. Anyway, I've got a Twitter message from Josh Barton, a brilliant critic. He says, "Hey guys, loving the new series. Always manages to get a laugh from me when out for a run. I cannot believe people listen to us when we run, and they're running, by the way. I'm not quite sure that helps, but you're welcome. I feel like it's been a great month for sequels. First off, Bad Boys, Ride or Die, really did surprise me with how good it was. Started off a bit ropey and thought the visual Marcus was having would derail the film, but luckily that wasn't the case. Soon found its feet and is one of the best cinematic experiences I've had this year. The press screening going absolutely wild at certain moments. Reggie springing to mind. I could easily watch many more of these if Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are game. Do you agree with
that? I mean, not for me, but I'm presuming like lots of other people. You know,
yes.
I'm fully prepared to be in the minority on this opinion, but yeah, I don't need any more. But you know.
He goes on, he's got to tell. Then there's Inside Out 2, which I absolutely loved. Had trepidations going over how great the first film was, but this blew me away. All the introduction of the new emotions at such an important stage of Riley's life was handled so wonderfully. The inclusion of anxiety is a crowning glory, which led to tears from me and my wife.
Oh,
I think that's great. Like we said in our interview, I think your response to Inside Out is going to be a very personal one.
Yes.
So,
yeah, and I think I liked it more than you, mainly. Yep. And I think it had incredibly good and poignant emotional parts. It's just the bits in between those were a bit flat. You know, I think it was very up and down.
Yeah. I think, anyway, Josh, thank you for getting in contact and sending a message. Really appreciate that. Very jealous you get to go to press screenings. And, okay, so let's just rewind a bit. Do you remember what we talked about this month, Rich?
Well, yeah, because you just talked about it all.
we got to sell it. So
Bad Boys Ride or Die. Was it Ride or Die? Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yep.
Furiosa.
Yes.
And Inside Out 2.
Yes, it was a short month. Well done.
Short month.
And another Slices.
Oh, another Slices. We talked about, we did Rambo First Blood.
Rich's first ever Rambo film.
Yeah,
very
my
exciting.
first ever Rambo film on Box Set Mentality. Disenfranchised, we did... What did we do on Disenfranchised?
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Of course. That's literally only just happened, isn't it?
Literally just happened, yeah.
Yeah. So those two, and obviously all the extra interview episodes and stuff that we've done as well.
Yeah, had a couple of comments from Ramble, actually. The Swinging Palm Trees podcast, by far one of my favourite movies ever.
Oh, nice.
Esteban again. I thoroughly enjoyed this, chaps. You're right. It's a thinker of an action movie, but I was 14 when it was released, and by the early 80s standards, I'm bloody thinking, bloody hell. Tell Rich to brace himself for the next one.
Oh, okay. I'm braced.
I don't know if that means a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't know either, but we'll find out.
I'm excited to sit through all these Rambo films with you. I really am.
I'm a little worried by that.
It's going to be fine. And the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is...
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It feels a very 2000-y thing.
It's so 2000-y. It's very 2000s. And it's... I felt... just watching it going, stop trying to make a dark universe happen.
Anyway, go listen to that because it's quite funny. Anyway, should we do news?
Yes. Sequel news.
Right, I've got a few bits to talk about. Not massive amount, I don't think. Shall I just weigh my way through it like normal? Or do you want to have a 1, 2, 3,
you
4?
just go for it, mate. You go.
Okay, this is a weird one, and I don't know how you're going to feel about it.
Okay.
But Spaceballs 2 is in the works with Mel Brooks, Josh Gad, and Josh Greenbaum.
Oh, okay. But John Candy's dead.
John Candy's dead, but could you imagine Josh Gad playing like a John Candy's son of Bath?
Maybe. I could sort of see it.
There's no information about the plot or whatever, but Mel Brooks is in his 90s now. He can't play the Yoda knockoff, really. Well, he might do, but not for a whole movie. Spaceballs is a funny knockoff. Bill Pullman?
No, yeah, Bill Pullman. He's dead too.
No, he's not.
Isn't he? I thought Bill Pullman had died.
I think we've had this conversation before about Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman is still very much alive.
Oh. What is wrong with me? Why do I keep thinking he's dead?
Why do you keep killing Bill off?
Why do I think Bill Pullman's dead? What's wrong with me? Okay, yeah. But he's in his 70s, so...
You never know.
And I'm not saying that means he's dead. What I'm saying is... Oh God,
he's going to die soon?
No, what I'm saying is, do you think he's up for a Spaceballs?
Basically, when you get into the 70s, life's not worth living. That's what you... Yes, Paxton's dead.
Bill Paxton's dead. That's why I keep getting confused. Because they're very close. They're both Bills who begin with a P.
They're very different actors, they were.
Yeah,
anyway, there is a funny scene in Spaceballs 1 where they talk about making Spaceballs a franchise and knockoff and running it into the ground pretty much.
There's lots of really funny stuff in Spaceballs. But
Spaceballs is brilliant. Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet.
That was going to be my other question. Hasn't Rick Moranis kind of retired?
Yes.
So we're not going to... Does that mean we're getting someone else as Dark Helmet? Or
I have no idea. Maybe Dark Helmet's not going to be in it. You got to have Dark Helmet in a Spaceballs movie, right?
Yeah, you'd hope. Or maybe it's Kylo Helmet these days.
Who knows? I'm like a bit iffy about that. Spaceballs is a very funny movie, but it feels like it's very one of the time.
Yeah, very of its time. Yeah.
It's one of the great Mel Brooks films for me. It's probably the first Mel Brooks film I ever watched.
It's between Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. And I loved Robin Hood Men in Tights when I was a youngster.
Very funny film. I think a bit of an underrated film. The hit rate of the jokes in that film are extraordinary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is. There are a lot of jokes.
It's good. Next bit of news. Uncharted 2 movie confirmed at Sony.
Really? Okay. I can see you're very happy about that, Dave.
Well, I just didn't believe it was going to happen, but here we are. We're living in a world where that's happening. I don't mind the Uncharted film. It's not like the Uncharted games.
I think it's fine.
Tom Holland was okay as a young Nathan Drake. My big problem was with Mark Wahlberg as Sully. If they could recast him as someone who could actually be Sully, that would be great.
I've never played the game, so I just watched it and was like, it's like Indiana Jones, but not as good.
A bit more flashy. So that came out back in 2002. It made a cool $407 million.
It's not going to make that now, though, is it?
Oh, well, you never know. But during a presentation of 2004's Cine Europe trade show earlier this month, Sony's presentation of international distribution, Stephen Odell gave an update on the many exciting projects the studio are currently working on. And this was one of them. 28 years later, we talked about I don't know if we're going to have to cover them, but have you heard about Sam Mendes' Beatles films? When he's doing 4 films, one on each person.
Okay.
Is that a sequel? Is that a franchise? Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, what? So he's going to do a movie about each individual Beatle?
Yeah.
And, wow, it could work if he does like a warts and all kind of thing. Because we know that...
It depends if they just start their career. No.
So, yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, that's not the news. The news is Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2, yeah, great.
Great.
Lovely news. Thanks, mate.
I like big Indiana Jones, treasure hunt movies. So
yeah, it could be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine, like the first one was fine.
Yeah. Marvel's... I think we've talked about Blade on this podcast, that Marvel film that they're trying to do for 3 years now. Anyway, it's lost another director.
Oh.
So... Yann Demange has lost a director, so it's going back into pre-production, or they're going to go for another rewrite.
It's stuck in production hell forever, isn't it, this Blade movie?
If it ever gets made, I'll be surprised at this point. Next bit of information, Paddington in Peru. Trailer release.
I saw a trailer.
Yes.
When I went to Inside Out 2. There was a Paddington in Peru trailer. And do you know what my overriding feeling was?
Oh, it's the same as mine.
Where's Sally Hawkins?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah. And also, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it.
I'm not sure about it either, Terence. Because Paddington 2 is so good. Yes. We could be wrong. Hopefully
I really hope I'm wrong. But it did seem kind of, I don't know, sketchy.
Well, I got Olivia Colman as like a singing nun or something. That's going to be fun. There's a boat cruise adventure.
I've sort of got a feeling she's going to end up being the baddie. Don't know why.
Who is the baddie?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying I think I've got a feeling it could be Olivia Colman.
It probably is. You've ruined it for everyone.
Really
no point going to see Paddington Peru. This is the next bit of news is going to make you angry. Zack Snyder confirms Rebel Moon's director's cut, titles, and Netflix streaming. So, I don't know if you've read about this, but they have changed the names. I can see his little face. They're coming out on August the 2nd. The same day, apparently.
Are these the stupidly long, stupid cuts that I'm not going to watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that I'm not going to watch.
Rebel Moon, the director's cut. There's chapter 1 and chapter 2. So they're no longer like Scar of the Giver and bollocks. Part 1 was A Child of Fire and part 2 was The Scargiver.
Right.
Both horrible, terrible films.
Yes.
Anyway, these ones are free to however long they are. And chapter 1 is called Chalice of Blood and chapter 2 is Curse of Forgiveness.
Why? What the fuck? Like, I don't care.
I have to reiterate, this was Zack Snyder's plan all along. He wanted to make films this long with like this. Netflix said, can you make these other ones first to a bit more family friendly or whatever? And Zack wasn't fine. I think that might be a mistake because they're so bad. Is anyone really up for watching more of them? I mean, there's going to be more blood.
I don't.
Characters are going to be fleshed out a little bit. The only way, I would say it, the only way me and you will watch this is for charity.
Yeah, there you go. If we're sponsored and raise $100,000 for the Pace Centre.
He's put a target on it.
If we raise $100,000 for the Pace Centre, then we'll watch those fucking movies.
We'll do it live. We'll stream it or something. But there has to be a demand for it. It's not happening otherwise. No. There's no way I'm watching unless it's for good and not for evil.
Yes. Agree.
Going for the shit, the absolute sublime news. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul.
I told you about this, right?
Best news all month. There is let's just say it, a sequel to The Wrong Trousers, right? Feathers McGraw is back.
Is it The Wrong Trousers?
Yes.
Has there not been one since The Wrong Trousers?
No, but this is a sequel to because of the Penguin.
Oh yeah, because Feathers McGraw is back. Yes, sorry. Yes, okay.
Keep up. We're going fast. Yeah, this is I know this would be it's a feature length. It's about 80 minutes long. It's going on BBC at Christmas. So I cannot wait for that. Most excited about a bit of news I've had for a while, to be honest. I couldn't believe it was happening. And I can't wait. Are you excited for this? Another Wallace and Gromit, feature-length Wallace and Gromit. We just talked about Curse the Were-Rabbit the other day and went, isn't it weird they haven't done another feature-length Wallace and Gromit film?
That's true. We did, yeah. And
somehow they've been making one. Yeah,
I'm not as excited as you because I know how much you love Wallace and Gromit, but yes, I am looking forward to Christmas. I always look forward to Christmas. This and the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, the last ever one. I'm up for that. There'll be a good Doctor Who. It's basically like 1999 all over again, 2003 Brilliant. All over again, right?
I'm also looking forward to Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah,
cool. We're nearly there. There was also a trailer for Venom: The Last Dance. Have you watched this?
I haven't, no. But my son is going to be dying to watch this movie.
I still think these films know what they are and they're having fun with it. The trailer looks pretty incredible, again, as in mad.
Yeah.
It drops. Obviously, this could be the last one. There's some good Venom, Tom Hardy stuff. Tom Hardy in this film just looks like he's having the best time, which I love. There is hints of what might happen. There is a Stephen Graham shot in there returning, I think, because in the last film he got a symbiote in him as well at some point. But this is coming out near end of the year, I believe. It'll probably say in this article, actually.
Yeah. I heard some people, I didn't actually read the articles, I saw some headlines of people going, but it spoils what happens at the end of No Way Home and what's going on. And
there's something but let's watch the whole film until we...
Yeah, exactly. It's only a trailer.
I mean, it's got Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
in this film, and he's, you know, also been in Doctor Strange. So if we're being throwing toys out the pram here, what the fuck's he doing there?
You get people playing different characters all the time, right?
Yeah, it's fine. So that comes out on 25th of October. So happy Halloween for us.
Woo! Oh, God. This might be one that I actually get my son to the cinema to watch, even though he's far too young to watch it.
I don't know now. He's getting there.
Well, he's not 15, Dave. He's a way off. He's only 9.
Well, how are you going to get him in? I suppose it would be a PG-13, I guess, or something.
If it's a PG-13, I might be able to get him in. But I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a 15.
Also, news. This one, if anyone remembers the Transformers Rise of the Beasts, the end of that film.
Yeah.
Do you remember the end of that film, the tease they had?
Sort of, yeah. Unequal.
No. The G.I. Joe.
Oh, the G.I. Joe crossover thing. Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is in talks to lead Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie. Could be just be gossip at the moment. Could be complete rubbish. But they are pushing along with this movie.
I'm currently selling a big load of wodge of Marvel Transformers comics on eBay at the moment because I'm trying to whittle down all the stuff that I have. And there are so many crossovers. There's Visionaries crossovers, G.I. Joe crossovers. There's all sorts of different Marvel character crossovers and stuff.
What, with the Transformers?
In the comics. If they take the comics as source material, there's a ton of G.I. Joe stuff. Although, because these are UK comics, they're called Action Force, not G.I. Joe.
There you go.
Because we
any
don't
interest
have
in this
GIs
film at
over
all? Any interest? I mean, you might because you've read the comics.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I actually quite like the G.I. Joe movie. It was stupid, rubbish, ridiculous, and I had a lot of fun.
Have you seen the sequel?
No, I have not seen the sequel. I'm guessing it's worse.
Yes, you might be thinking differently if you've seen that.
Okay.
Last bit of news, and put this definitely in the rumour camp, but it was so mad that I had to say it. Lethal Weapon 5 is being directed by Mel Gibson at some point in the future.
What? This doesn't need to happen. They were too old for this shit before. They're definitely too old for this shit now.
Basically, there's been an interview with Mel Gibson because he's releasing a new film with Mark Wahlberg. If anyone doesn't know, Mel Gibson is still an iffy character in Hollywood, I would say.
Yeah.
He's made, don't get us wrong, made some great films. Director, not...
That Father Christmas one he made, actually quite good.
I haven't even seen that. That sounds like Rich is Drunk, but that's real.
Yeah.
But I was talking like Braveheart.
It sounds like a fever dream. Oh, I'm talking like since the controversy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it sounds like a fever dream, but he does play Father Christmas in a movie.
An angry one, right?
Yeah, an angry one. I can't remember what the movie's called, but not just an angry one, but a murdery one.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll be good at that.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the movie's called.
He also is in a film called Dragged Across Concrete with Vince Vaughn, and it's not a bad film, but while you're watching it, you just think, oh, Mel Gibson.
It's called Fat Man. That's what the Fat Man one's called.
Brilliant.
And it doesn't score very well by the looks of it on anything, but I quite enjoyed it. So, and also he's in the Continental TV series apparently. The John Wick
I haven't
one.
watched it. Haven't watched it.
So maybe he's coming back a little bit.
Maybe
he's worked with Mark Wahlberg before though, hasn't he? He was in that Father Stew movie.
Oh yeah, that was after
Wahlberg.
The controversy as well.
Yeah. Which was...
he's a very weird man.
Being very good.
He's going to take over for Richard Donner because Richard Donner apparently passed on the mantle to him. So he's currently releasing a movie. I can't remember the name of it. Then he's going to do a sequel to The Passion of the Christ. Fuck knows what that will be.
Oh my God.
Yeah, really? And then he'll be doing Lethal Weapon 5. And by that point, they really, really will be too old for this shit. Especially Danny Glover.
Oh God, yeah. How old is Danny Glover these days? He must be in his 80s, surely.
It must be, surely. Unless they're going to maybe do a handover kind of
like they did in
movie.
the TV show.
Well, the TV show is based on Murtaugh and Riggs. It's not a handover.
Oh, no.
But they're different actors.
Yeah, true. I just meant sort of are they going to recast rather than a handover?
No, I think they'll be Riggs. They'll be passing it on to someone. I love the first Lethal Weapon films. I love all four of them.
Don't get me wrong. I think
they're great
too. Yeah,
but I don't think I want to see those characters run around.
So Danny Glover is 77.
He is not as old as I thought he was.
No,
though.
he's not as old as I thought either. I thought he would
How
be
old's
in his
Mel
80s.
Gibson then?
Mel Gibson can't be that much younger, to be honest. He must be in his, like, late 60s. 68, Mel Gibson. So all that, like, I'm too old for this shit, and there's literally, like, 9 years between them.
Big difference in the 80s, though. And they were too old for that shit in... When was Lethal Weapon 4 released?
Oh.
To 1999?
Must
98?
be something like that. Hang on.
2001?
No, it can't be as late as 2001.
It's when DVDs first came out.
Is it?
Everyone had Lethal Weapon 4 on DVD.
Oh,
They gave it away with DVD players, I'm pretty much.
Really?
Pretty sure they did. It was one of them. That, Enemy of the State.
Do you want to know when Lethal Weapon 4 came out? 1998.
Yeah. They were definitely too old for that. They were moaning about they were too old for that shit then.
Because Chicken Run was 2000, and it was before that.
God. Okay. Quickly. Box office. It is now Sunday the 23rd of June. Rich was worried about how Bad Boys Ride or Die was going to do at the box office.
You say worried. Interested, I think is all.
He doesn't care. Okay. It is currently made $235 million. It's more than Ghostbusters, Garfield, Bob Marley, If, Fall Guy,
But that's
Furiosa.
still not a lot, though, is it? Right?
No, that is good. That is good in this case. Everyone's really happy.
I know, but I'm in comparison to last year almost. Like, that's not great. When you consider its budget was $100 million, and then you can definitely double that for marketing. That's $200 million to break even.
Stop ruining.
It's not amazing, is it? Like, so
it had a brilliant opening weekend, but Inside Out 2, that's the big one. It's already made over $500 million now.
Yeah, I was going to say that was like when I was trying to book tickets for it. Literally every single screening was sold out on Inside Out 2. So that one looks, I don't know. It just worries me. Like there's so many movies, so many good movies aren't making a profit, and so many movies you could normally bank on are either not making a profit or squeaking around the break-even mark.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just makes me feel a bit sad.
Anyway, it's exciting to look at the box office, and soon the next couple of months definitely got Despicable Me 4 and a Wolverine versus Deadpool, whatever it's called. So it'd be interesting to see how they do.
I'm worried about Wolverine versus Deadpool as well.
I'm not.
It's not a kids. It's not a family one. You know.
I think it's going to do good.
So yeah,
I think there's got enough in that to bring people to the party. Anyway, shall we move on to sequels that we've seen? Sequels that we've seen. No, sequels that we've seen.
Lovely. This is easy. I haven't seen any.
Me neither. Well, I did watch the Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
But I've mentioned those on the Bad Boys Ride or Die review, I think, and I think they're all great in their own special little way. Each one's slightly different, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I think Ride or Die is great. So let's move on to Movie Club. Go on, do the thing.
Movie Club. Okay. I mean, I've watched like 3 movies, I think, that I can talk about.
I've watched one, so What have you seen?
Okay, so I watched Migration.
Oh, finally, it's out.
The animated duck movie.
Good.
It was, we paid for it. I paid to rent it. I think it was like $5, just because George really wants to watch it, and I think it was half term. There was something that, and I was like, yes, fine, I will pay for a movie for you. And yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
It looks fun. I'm looking forward to watching that eventually.
Yeah, it's a few laughs in it. Yeah, it's all right. It's pretty much, it's not, it's not going to blow your mind, but it's all right. It's all right.
Funny, at least?
Yeah, there are a few laughs in there. Awkwafina's good, as always. It's a positive review. George liked it. He chuckled. So that's the main thing. Something
a bit there for adults and children.
Yes, I would say so. The other thing I watched, the other 2 things I watched Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, the 2010 movie.
With Logan Lerman, whatever his name is.
Yeah. It's bad. It's pretty bad.
Okay. I always wonder how I know how. This is one George picked, right, for the 100
George
movies?
picked this for the 100 movies. He loves the books. The Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief book is one of his favourites. We're reading Sea of Monsters at the moment. He really, really likes the books. We've also watched the TV show, which he also really likes,
Good.
which is pretty close to the books.
Yeah, I've heard it's better.
The movie is very, very different to the books. Even to the fact that the bad guy is different. Like, it's like in the books, the bad guy is Kronos, who is like he's the father of Zeus and Poseidon.
Right.
And he's like a titan, and he's like been banished to a pit, and you don't really see him. You just hear like hear his voice and stuff. And then he's got like minions who do work for him. But the minion is the main baddie in the movie. Like it's a bit strange. And George, we watched it, and George went, "Oh, I think that was bad." I was like,
oh no!
Oh mate,
he's had the moment. He's had the moment.
You've had your cinematic awakening.
You realise movies can be bad. Did you give him ice cream or something afterwards?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember, but I think that's when we watched the TV show, the TV series.
Oh, good. So you're not going to
after.
watch the sequel to the movie?
We're not going to watch the sequel to the movie, no, because he really doesn't want to.
And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
If a 9-year-old doesn't want.
They took out all the good bits from the books. I was like, yeah, they kind of did, mate.
They did that.
I was like, sometimes they have to change things a bit from the books because it's harder to make things than it is to write them. And he was like, yeah. But then we watched the TV show, and he's like, all the good bits of the books are in the TV show. And I was like, that is true.
I don't know what was going on with that one. I think I've watched the first one, but I've also never watched the second one.
No. And we might watch the
second one. They
second
tried to do a
one.
Harry Potter thing with, didn't they? Basically.
They didn't work. It didn't capture anything that was good from the books. So in the books, Percy Jackson's really funny.
Yeah.
Like he's really funny, and he's not at all in the movie. And also, he's 11 in the books, and he's about 17 in the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, that's interesting.
It makes it very, very different. Like, it's a very different thing. But yeah.
How close are you done with this 100 movies with?
I don't know.
Son?
I need to count up. Actually, I think we're about probably halfway. We're halfway through the year, so halfway is about right. Ultraman Rising is the other film we watched.
The animated one, right?
The anime. It's basically Ultraman is like the anti-kaiju. Essentially, he's from that kaiju kind of universe. But he's a human who grows to kaiju size and beats up kaijus when they attack cities and stuff. And it's quite cool.
Film? Is it a kids film?
It's an animated kids movie. And yeah, he basically kind of learns that he's been fighting monsters all these times, but then he comes across a baby kaiju and sort of ends up like defending it and looking after it and stuff and getting a different perspective on the whole kaiju. It's really quite good. I really quite enjoyed it.
And that's a Netflix title, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Netflix. It's really well animated. It's got a decent story. It's well written, and it kind of really tugs at your heartstrings.
Oh wow, wasn't expecting that.
It's like one of those ones that you didn't expect, like Nimona or like Maya and the Three. One of those Netflix is really nailing animation, I think.
Right.
Like it's got some really good kind of animated stuff coming out. And
good.
This is one of those movies. I think this is this year's Nimona. It's a very good kind of animated movie.
Which I still haven't watched either, but everyone tells me it's great.
You need to watch it. It's good.
I know. I need some time, Rich. You can just tell how little I've watched things.
Yeah. And that's all I've watched this month. I know it's bad, right? But
that's bad. But
all going on.
The only other film apart from sequels that we've watched for the interview episodes,
yes,
and for the Friday releases, and for the other Slice watches, is the remake of The Producers, talking about Mel Brooks.
Oh, right, okay.
For some reason, Tiff wanted to watch it. She remembers good things about it when she was younger, in 2005. And at that point, it kind of passed me by, because obviously The Producers, the original one,
the 1967, I want to say.
Yeah. It's very a classic.
So who's in the new one? It's Matthew Broderick, isn't it? And
Nathan Lane, Will Farrell, Uma Thurman. Now, I know Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, they did this because it was a big hit on Broadway.
Yeah.
So they redid the film. And I'm just going to say it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, Nathan Lane is a star, and I'd watch him in anything, I think. So him and Broderick are both good in it. And Will Ferrell's funny. It's funny, it's just not the original.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I don't know if you need a redo of the producers when you've got the producers there in the first place.
I get that.
But that's the only thing I've seen, so let's move on.
So, TV Club?
Do it.
Boo! TV Club.
Right, what have we been watching this month?
So I have watched a couple of things.
Right.
First one I want to talk about, because I absolutely loved it, is Sweet Tooth. Have you seen this?
No, this is the Robert Downey Jr. produced Netflix series, right?
Oh, I didn't know it was Robert Downey Jr. produced.
There you go. There's a bit of information I know for some reason.
Yeah, it's a Netflix series.
Based on a comic book?
Based on a comic book.
Novel?
And it's essentially there is a sickness that has wiped out most of the human population of Earth. But what also means is that every baby that's been born since this sickness is a human-animal hybrid. Some more animal than human, some more human than animal, essentially. But it follows someone who appears to be the first ever human-animal hybrid, a little boy called Gus, who is part human, part deer, and he has little antlers. And and it's sort of his journey to try and find his mum. And yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. It's beautifully made. It's heart rendering. I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I think there are. I know you're not a big fan, particularly of child actors.
I am not. But
I would say the kids in this are so good.
How many episodes in the series?
So it's 3 series, and I think it's like 24 episodes in total.
Okay, but I thought you were about to say a series, and I was like,
no. It's 24 episodes total, and I think it's 3 series or maybe 4 series, but yeah, it's not loads, so you could watch it all quite easily. It's like I said, it's got Adil Akhtar in it, who you would know from lots of British stuff, and
Pan.
Pan that we watched not recently, and Nonso Anozie. He is. Do you remember a little while ago I talked about something called Cass, a film called Cass, which is about football.
Oh yeah, the big guy.
Yeah, so he plays Big Man. Basically.
Oh, he's also in the rubbish Disney film that's got cancelled. Artemis Fowl.
Oh yes, he's in Artemis Fowl as well. Yes,
I know they actually.
And he's in a couple of episodes.
He's in a lot
of Mandalorian and Ted Lasso, and
he's in Game of Thrones.
Is he in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's
in Game of Thrones. But yeah, he's been in lots of different things. But he's really good in this. His real name's like Tommy Jeppard. He's an ex-American footballer. He's lost his wife and kid, but he kind of adopts Gus and decides he's the little boy and decides to kind of defend him, make sure he gets him to his mum.
Oh wow!
But
funny, actiony, all that
stuff. It's kind of like a zombie movie without the zombies.
Interesting.
It's that kind of like post-apocalyptic world, but it's just really worth watching. You should,
okay.
I really highly recommend it to anybody, and yeah. So definitely go out, and especially this last series, I've really enjoyed it.
Did you cry?
I did a little bit,
Good.
I did a little bit.
That's good.
Gets a bit sad.
What else have you been watching?
What else have I been watching? I have also been watching Doctor Who, because I know you have.
Well, I'm still slightly behind because
I haven't watched the last episode yet. So.
I haven't watched the last 3 episodes.
Oh, you're very.
I've been
behind.
busy in the weekends,
Okay.
And a lot of editing, and it's I don't know. I have barely watched anything this month. I haven't completed any series this month. I mean, I'm still in the middle of Bear season 2. It seems I'm never finishing TV series in my life.
Okay.
So one day I'll get to watch. But Doctor Who finale was last night.
Yes, last night.
So hopefully I'll get to talk about it next month. I haven't really seen any reviews because I know people love to spoil Doctor Who instantly, it seems.
Yes,
they like to
they
really...
do, yeah, but that's on... So what else? House of the Dragon has started?
I'm going to wait until that last episode is about to come out, and then I'm going to binge them all.
I watched the first episode, and it was quite... It was a little dull to start with, but it picks up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the last series is pretty good of House of Dragon.
Yeah. I would say it was quite a slow start, but it definitely picks up.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to watching more of that.
And The Boys is also back.
The Boys has started.
I've only watched the first episode of the new series.
Is it as bloody and violent and brilliant as normal?
Yeah, of course.
I love that
Pretty
series.
much.
I'm still trying to finish Fallout before I start The Boys.
Oh, I haven't started Fallout, so
Fallout is still being great, but still got 2 episodes left of that. It's good.
That is really about it.
I know, right? Wrexham is still going. That's happening.
I think that's finished actually. Wrexham.
Has it? I've still got one more episode of that to watch.
I think that's one I'd forgotten about. I had watched that. I binged that quite quickly, but yeah, I think that's finished now.
I'm still in the middle of the Clarkson's Farm, and you warned me about the episode. Is that the pig episode?
Yes, it's the pig episode. Yeah,
it's not one to watch while you're having your dinner. I found out that one.
No, especially not if it's pork.
That's good.
So yeah, Clarkson's Farm was good. You've reminded me that I have started watching The Acolyte, and actually very much enjoying it.
Okay, I've heard very mixed reviews again.
I'm enjoying
annoying Star Wars fans.
I like
toxic
Star Wars, but new and different. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Good. Cool. Well, that's all we got. Shall we move on to upcoming releases?
Calendar. Yeah.
It's the one release calendar coming up. We're gonna look at the sequels and films coming up in July. July!
I literally thought you were going to launch into 1 week by the Bare Naked Ladies for a second.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. No. Okay. July, people. Here we go. It's got some big ones. So we're going to start off sequel-wise. Is Maxine, which is the third film in this trilogy I haven't watched anything of, and I can't remember the first name of the film, but the second one is called Pearl with Mia Goth.
Okay.
I think we are. Apparently they're all very good.
These are the horror movies.
Horror, yeah, crime. It says crime horror, this one.
Right.
So
okay.
We haven't watched any of these films.
No, and we're going to have to. Al
Horner mentioned Pearl when we interviewed him, and it sounded brilliant. And I don't think it's like a Saw or a Scream. I think they're a bit more clever than that. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I'm going to catch up on these before we watch.
Yeah, I have to catch up on them. Also, this month is Despicable Me 4, which is going to make so much money, hopefully.
Yep. That's going to make bank, baby. Yeah, I'm down with the kids. I know these
The one I'm really looking forward to on July the 17th is Twisters.
Yeah.
That is the big release in our household. We can't wait for it.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Twister again just to see what I'm missing.
So we can't wait.
I'm going to watch it again to see if my view has changed.
That it's still brilliant and one of the best films ever?
No, that it's rather dull and I didn't enjoy it very much.
But it's got tornadoes and hurricanes. And
it's a film about weather. Woohoo!
When you say it like that, I do agree with you. And then we're ending the month on July the 25th. Deadpool and Wolverine come out.
Now that I'm looking forward to.
Looking forward to it. Our schedule looks like this. We are doing we're going to do an Unequal prequel. So July, with Friday the 5th episode, A Quiet Place, Day 1, Unequal prequel.
Yes.
Then on Wednesday the 10th, Box Set Mentality, we're doing Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Bloody hell. Friday the 12th episode, Despicable Me 4. Friday the 19th, forgot to mention because it's not on the list, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Is that actually happening?
It's actually happening.
I've seen nothing about it. I was waiting for an announcement to say it's been delayed because I've heard that little about it.
I'm going to have to check on when Maxine comes out. For some reason, I've got it reviewing it in August the 16th. But in August, that's when you'll see the reviews of Deadpool and Twisters.
Okay.
Because of how the releases line up and all that jazz. It gets a bit confusing. And
we want to give people a chance to watch it before we spoil it for them, right?
We want to give ourselves and us to watch it, record it, edit it, and release it.
Yeah, but mainly we're thinking of you. We're thinking of you, the listeners. We want you to have a chance to watch it, so we don't go spoiling movies for you. That's why we do it. Not that, we need the time to make the podcast.
I think we're going to need time to make the podcast. But there is a lot of prequels, sequels coming out. And also this month is the 3-hour epic of, I'm about to say Clint Eastwood, Kevin Costner's Horizon, American Saga, Chapter 1.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
I'm excited to see this. But
so I'm going to have to go and watch that, even though it's not a sequel, because we're going to have to do the sequel. Part 2 of it, right?
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Is that a cinema one?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
3 hours.
Good.
3 hours. That's what I'm going to try and watch in the morning. Hopefully there was no showing.
I won't have a drink for like 10 years beforehand, so I don't need to pee.
Kevin Costner making a Western. It's going to be cool, right?
It's going to be fine, is what it's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be fine, and I'm going to watch it thinking, is he a Trump supporter? Like, I don't know. I get the feeling that Kevin Costner might be a bit MAGA.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. Can you see us out, please?
Oh, wow, that came around really quickly.
Well, because we've seen no movies.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
Sorry about that.
That is a fair point. I'm really sorry we've seen no movies, and that this month's roundup was a little bit sparse. If you want to hear a fuller roundup, yeah, we're still over an hour. Come on, what more do you want?
Yeah.
If you want to hear a somewhat fuller roundup, then you've got loads to go back and listen to. Go back and listen to the last few months' roundups. They're lovely. Go and give those a go. And whilst you're there, listen to all the other old episodes as well. We're halfway through season 6. We've had some brilliant episodes so far. Stick with us. It gets even better from here on in. And if you really like what you're listening to, then hit the subscribe button, hit the auto download button, and we'll drop into your pod player of choice every single week. If you really, really like what you're listening to and you want extra bit of those sequel episodes, and you want to message us about other movies we've been watching, like lots of our special slicers did on this monthly roundup, then go to anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can join our subscription service for $2.99 a month. Yeah, I know. Yep. It's a bargain, right? There are other podcasts out there that charge you a tenner for this sort of stuff. Come on. $2.99 a month. Bargain. So you get all the episodes. Lovely days. You can listen to all that extra stuff. Get onto social media for us as well. We're Unequal Sequel on all those social medias. Just type us into the search bar and you'll find us. Get in touch. Let us know what you thought of movies. We'll read out your comments at the end of the month roundup. But also, if you wouldn't mind recommending your friends, get on the social media and recommend us to other people you think might like our podcast. If maybe you do some sort of like a help out Friday or something, and you make lots of recommendations for people, then please do include us in there. It'd be lovely for other people to help find the podcast. Also, something that can help people find us is tapping out a little review. If you get on Apple or Amazon or wherever those places, write us a little review and give us 5 stars. That would be amazing. Thank you. Also, if you don't do social medias and you want to get us a message, we are unequalsequel@hotmail.com.
Brilliant. You nearly forgot that at the end, didn't you?
I nearly did. Did.
You're a pro. Well done, sir.
Remember the email address, buddy.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for anything that people send in. Apologies if I missed anything. I don't think I did this month. But
we try really hard not to miss things, but do let us know if we did, because it's not on purpose. We're not one of these podcasts where you would get thousands and thousands of messages and we ignore half of them. We never do that. We do read all your messages and we do try and respond, but sometimes we're just a bit shit.
Especially at social media. We are not good at that.
So, do remind us if we've missed any of your comments. Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We go into July now. We got a bit of sunshine. It's quite nice in the UK.
I'm currently wearing shorts.
Me too. Unbelievable. I know we've got international callers like, it's always hot where we are. So thank you. Callers, listeners. Also have international listeners where probably it's cold all the time as well. So
True.
sorry that I'm rubbing that I've got a bit of sunshine today. Okay, it's a goodbye from me, bye-bye, and a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. See you on this one. Have a good week. Bye-bye. What sequel are you looking forward to most in July? Despicable Me 4 or Wolverine?
Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine, clearly. I love Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is kind of perfect. So.
But no hype for Despicable Me 4 at all?
No, I'm looking forward to that too. But you asked me which one.
Does George like the Minions and all that?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he prefers like the bad guys in terms of that kind of slate of people. But yeah.